Hey everybody, what's up? It's Grimmia here, bringing another speed build with you. This speed build is off my stream, so you'll be able to see my stream cat and my baby count up because this is a home for my 100 baby challenge. Before this, the family lived in a mid-century modern home, in case you were interested. We're on our third matriarch. We're on 58 babies. She's only an adult, and that's because I have soul scraps, and it's not cheating if it's in the game. So I'm really at this point trying to see. Excuse me, I had to cough. See how many babies I can have with her. And I have 2 soul scraps left, so if I have to, I will 100% reset her age. And I kind of would like to finish it with her, because it just makes my life easier. But yeah, I stream every Thursday. Currently every Thursday. I'm live at 3 p.m. until about 6 or 7-ish, but I do Stardew Valley streams first and then the Sims 4. And it's usually babies, but there have been a couple of Sims 4 streams that I've missed. But we're building. I wanted a tiny home for the skill game, and you can see what I'm doing here is I'm placing that last wall, so the game doesn't recognize this as a room, and therefore it doesn't count against my tiles. So the house looks a little weird, unfortunately, because I can't have the whole thing have 2 stories, which sucks. But you can put roofs over that, which I mean we'll get to in a second because I low key forgot how to do that. But that giant room there would have, I think that's the master suite, and then we have an ensuite and a nursery, and then from the nursery it'll lead to the toddler dungeon, and this is where my kids are gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna build them a second bedroom as well downstairs. I have a shit ton of money, as you you can see on the screen. I have 2 million simoleons. I have a money tree, uh, which I'm not going to. If you watch this live, I'm getting rid of the money tree. Just by the way, we're getting rid of the money tree and we're deleting, I think, whatever, not all of the money, but I think most of the millions of dollars we have left. I did want a porch, but it was going to fuck with the tile count, so I got rid of the porch, which is unfortunate. And it makes doing this makes, because the game doesn't think they're rooms, it makes painting this a nightmare. So you gotta go, like, go in there and paint wall by wall, kind of. Um, so that this section I'm doing right now is going to be where the toddlers live. It's going to be a series of walking through there just to get them in there. I teleport them in there in the game, just saying. Boy, I cut this down. I didn't cut it. I sped it up, so I got 24 minutes of content. So what do we want to talk about? I don't know. Sorry. I'm not very good at this. Um, looks like we're roofing. I could talk about whatever the fuck I want. Go follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/the_Grimmia. I would have had my regular username, but somebody fucking took it, bastards. Roofing this section can be tricky when you're roofing fake rooms because the game doesn't, obviously, the game knows it's not a room, so it doesn't let you put the roof tiles on there. So it helps if you build, I'm gonna have to do it in a couple of the other rooms, but you just build like a 1 by 1 room, and that way you can put a roof on top of that and expand it however you want, which is what I end up doing. Um, because that looks stupid. I'd want to say I kept it. No, I didn't. Okay. There's a weird, see there. Now I can place a room or a roof there. There's a weird section of roofing that I kept. Yeah, because I expand this over so it blends better, but there's the overhang, and I put my plants underneath there because I'm keeping my strawberry plants because I've had the strawberry plants since the first matriarch. I've been playing this challenge for a little over a year. I started last March. I've started this challenge a few times offline, and this is really my actual try hard attempt at this. I started it last March. I had to take a break when I went back to work in the summer because there was the panorama last year, which and also this year. I hate the way that roof looks. I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks really stupid, but what can you do? But that's the whole shell and roof done. Um, it is not on the gallery yet. I keep forgetting to do that because when I streamed this, the gallery was down, and I will get it on the gallery eventually. You can go follow me on there. Gallery ID the_Grimmia, I think. I'm not actually. I'm really good at this, guys. I'm not actually sure. But I did kind of want a Mediterranean-ish style home like the ones around me, which on the outside isn't that exciting. I'd like to do some more landscaping. Do I do landscaping? I might do landscaping. I don't remember. It's been a week. But here I'm showing like how stupid it is to, with the fake rooms to try and get those. I just used plain ass plaster. It wasn't very exciting. I was gonna use the Jungle Adventure one, but it's nearly identical to the base game one, and I figured, why use so many packs? And then I remembered I have a bunch of packs on here anyways, because I'm not very good at restricted pack builds. I think the last speed build I uploaded, the American Foursquare, that was a base game only build. I think. I don't remember. Sorry. But because those are real rooms up there, they're super easy to paint. Um, boy, I have a lot of time to fill out. I got like 20 more minutes. What else are we going to talk about? I do have nothing to talk about. I can talk about my dogs. I have two dogs. I have a foxhound slash walker treehound mix. We're not really sure what he is, to be honest. The shelter said he was a foxhound, but our neighbor used to breed Walker Treehounds, and he's like, "Oh, this is a Walker Treehound. I used to breed them." When we first met him, because we brought the boy over, because we're like, "Hey, this is our dog. If you see he got out, can you please return him? Because he's a big dumb idiot." And then we also have a Greyhound, and she is super duper sweet. She cries all the fucking time, all the time. That's all Hattie ever does is cry. I have pictures of my dogs on Twitter often and Instagram often, so if you would like to follow me on there, the links will be down below. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying you should. Boy, this is gonna turn into like true crime and speed building because I don't know what else to talk about. But I'm always on a true crime kick personally. My husband's like a little concerned, like you're watching some more true crime. I see. Uh, um, here I haven't. We'll do a small one. Uh, I have a true crime Twitter. I don't post to it very often because it takes time to research all of this, and I like to link my sources. So we'll do this guy, William Huff, aka the Phantom. He was technically a serial killer. He had more than one victim. Out of Arizona. Hella viewer discretion. This is not for children. It involves children. I will be skipping over some of those sensitive words. Um, but this happened in 1967. David Bowie hadn't released his debut album yet. All four of the Beatles were alive. We were still in Vietnam. We, as in the United States, you know. And this girl, Cindy, went missing near an army base in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Very unfortunate. And her parents were still, or her parents, what her dad was still overseas in Vietnam at the time. So they got a hold of her. Her dad was like, "Hey, your daughter's missing. You need to come home." And her older sister identified some of the clothing and belongings that the cops were finding as they turned up. The day her dad returned, Cindy's dad, they found her body. She had been found mutilated on the nearby base Fort Huachuca. Sorry, I butchered the fuck out of that. Local Sierra Nevada police, county cops, and the FBI and Army investigators are now all the fuck over this because they found her body on the base. Side note, this wallpaper, this yellow boat wallpaper, I low-key hate it, but I've never used it before and I wanted to, so I put it in there. And I made every single wall of this nursery a different shade of gingham for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Gingham is one of my favorite patterns. Gingham, plaid, tartan. Love them to death. I like squares, by energy. I also really like this banana leaf wallpaper. I never use it because it's expensive, but it's one of my favorite wallpapers. Probably because it's got plants. So I used it in every single room. Um, Remember when I said I try not to build with so many packs? I used a lot of Mostly base game, but a lot of the walls are Jungle Adventure, the floor is Jungle Adventure. I didn't keep any of I kept some of my furniture, but I sold a lot of it when I switched over. Sorry, we're taking a break from reading about a child killer. Um, a true crime and speed bills. Maybe that'll be my thing. It'll give me something to talk about, honestly, because I mean I can tell you guys about my life, but how that's not that exciting. I did put a closet in there just so my sim has another place to woohoo. But usually I like to separate it and make it into a separate room. I did not do that, and now that I'm thinking about it, because that room already exists, it won't count against my tiles, so I totally could. And because I felt like spending money, I just bought really expensive shit for no reason. There's no reason. I don't need any of that expensive stuff. My matriarch is an actress, and I know the rules are for the 100 baby challenges. You can't do rabbit hole jobs, and technically the auditions are rabbit holes, but I'm going to the gigs with her, so I'm not counting it as a rabbit hole job because there's no escaping the auditions. I put a bassinet in there just to remind myself that that's the nursery, and then I thought it was ridiculous to have $5,000 toilets for the children, so I got rid of them. Excuse me. I did not refill my water when I came downstairs. So, and I ran out of it because I just finished streaming. The spa day showers and the cheap university showers, your Sims will use shower in front of other Sims technically with those, which is why those are in there because this is my little bathroom block. It's smaller than the ones I've had before. I usually have 3 showers, 3 toilets, 3 sinks. But up here is like a little private room for a kid. Um, And when I upload this to the gallery, if it gets marked for custom content, it would be because I have all my kid drawings up and I cannot be asked to put them all away. I'm sorry. Usually I do before I upload it, or I don't put all the photos in there, but I just kind of forgot this time. My painting of Guidry. My matriarch has been a paranormal investigator. Before then, I think we were just making money gardening. Her mom was a writer and a painter. Was that her mom? Her grandma was a writer and a painter. My bad. I don't remember what her mom did. I don't have VODs going that far back. I used whatever furniture I had, I used. Some of it I do go back and replace, like the university bed I go through there. Yeah, because I had I don't remember what bed I had. Oh, I had the fucking bed from Get Famous. The really expensive one. The toddler room is a little bare bones. I got like the toy chest and I never used the unicorn, so I decided to use the unicorn. I did have to scooch them off the beds because the toddlers won't fucking go into the beds. But anyways, back to the murder. William Huff. Cindy's body has been found already. There's a million cops, and a week after finding the body, a note is sent to the Sierra Nevada cops, and it mentions the cops had found the first victim. The next one lives on a street, and she's 9. That's what the note says. Nobody knows where my hangout is. Nobody's gonna find me. Y'all suck, basically. They find the girl that is mentioned in the note because it just gives her age and her street, and she's given a 24-hour protection detail. And for a few months, they don't really find anything. They get nothing. This is still the spring of 1967. They get dead ends for fuck all. And then June of that same year, the Phantom, because that's what he signed the note as, is the Phantom, strikes again, and this time he's killed a 16-year-old girl, and her dad was a lieutenant colonel on the army base. She was killed, and her body was found the same exact way as Cindy, our first victim. They had no evidence really they had a suspect in mind, the cops did, but they had no evidence. They just kind of like, oh, this guy's gotten in trouble before, but no real hard evidence. And before they had actually discovered the second victim's body, the police chief saw the man he suspected was involved. Yeah, I go through a couple of beds, trying to figure out which one is the best without covering the window. Because I wanted that big fucking bed from Get Famous. but I didn't use it, unfortunately. Um, right. So the cops had a suspect in mind, and the police chief did see that same man leaving the army base before the body was discovered. Unfortunately for the for not actually fortunately for the cops, unfortunately for the murderer, um, there was a witness, and he was able. The second victim's brother was able to give a description of the man who abducted his sister. So William Huff, at this time he was 16, was taken into custody, and his handwriting was a match for the note sent to the police. Um, he already had a couple of run-ins before he had a few accusations from his neighbors of inappropriate conduct. And the day of the trials, Huff pled guilty to both murders. He was sentenced to 55 to life, 15 for the first murder, 40 for the second. That would not be served concurrently. And his first parole eligibility was in 2008, and he was denied. Unfortunately, in 2015, he was granted parole under house arrest. In 2016, he moved into a halfway home in Tucson. The chair of the parole board at the time, I'm decorating my kid's room, but it's a weird thing to talk about while I'm decorating a children's bedroom, huh? Sorry, cough break. Here we're doing the kitchen. I put the most expensive shit because I can. I have the money for it, so why the fuck not? This room is just a kitchen. I thought I had auto counters on, but I think because the door, it didn't automatically counter me. This is just a kitchen and a small dining. We used a dumpster because another place to hook up in, which is not really. We never really use the dumpster because I have the nano trash can. But in that little, there's the kid bedroom. I'm gonna put some living room furniture in there as well. Um, and there's gonna be skill building items outside. Just kind of decorating the kitchen there for a little bit. But anyways, we're now in 2016. Huff has been moved into a halfway home. Um, I'm assuming the press, but it could have been actual people. Well, the press are people, I guess. Sorry, that was snarky. The press are people. When asked if Huff was a danger still to the community, the chair of the parole board responded with, "I don't think I can answer that. Bitch, you just released a man who is a bad touch person and a murderer of small people." That's not quite the right phrase. Of young people. Very young people. Out. You released him and you don't know if he's a danger to the community. I have many words for this person. If you can't decide he's a threat, why the fuck do you release him? Anyway, a film producer filmed outside of this man's house after hearing he was released. I had a bitch of a time fitting a long table in there, so I put a small table in there, and there's a proper outdoor dining space to fit more. The Sims are just going to eat wherever the fuck they want, so it doesn't really matter. I also didn't know where to put this without it blocking the doors. And I had move objects on. I don't think I turned it off to see if it would be a conflicting issue. But now, yeah, we're going back to decorate that room, are we? I don't fucking know. What are we doing? Where am I? I've been talking about this murder for a second. I forgot. Oh, yeah, I'm just placing some skill building items upstairs. And outside. Because I still have a shit ton of money to spend. Can't forget the fire detector, the smoke alarm, and the sprinkler system, and the thermostat. Um, so a producer goes outside the halfway home where Huff has been placed and starts filming. And no, there's just kids like walking by, playing, having a good old time. Nobody fucking knows that there's a child murderer. Can I say that on YouTube? None of my shit's monetized, so it doesn't matter. There's a child murderer and a bad touch guy in that fucking house. Trying to avoid those words. The bad touch words. Oh yeah, my crab poster. I love that crab poster. I've had it. not not since day one. I don't know. I put it in a bedroom at one point and I decided I got to keep it. I got rid of the window so I could fit a big TV because I wanted the biggest TV. So I had to get rid of all the windows in the kids' bedroom. They get no windows. Sorry, kids, but you have a big TV. I'm because at this point in the build, I'm just trying to spend money because I have a lot of fucking money. Oh, that's what my second generation did. She fabricated stuff. She was a freelance fabricator, which was a bitch because my fabricator kept breaking. Then I have all these drawings and cards and shit, and they're gonna be when I do upload this to the gallery, they will be in the build. There's my crab poster. Love him, Krabby the Crab. So this was back in 2016, and then in 2018 of November, William Huff turns himself at the strong suggestion of his parole officer. He turns himself back into the cops. Why, you may ask? Because his girlfriend had her 8-year-old daughter sleep over at Huff's apartment where she was. There were 2 adult women in the apartment as well. The child was not harmed. Everything, all is well. But he told his parole officer about it, and his his PO was like, dude, you gotta fucking turn yourself in. Because it's a violation of his parole to be around children. So, I do have a separate Twitter. This is one of the cases I tweeted about. Maybe we'll do some true crime and speed build, because there's a couple. I just covered Eileen Wuornos. I try to do these really shortly, because the first post I did was very fucking long. It was about Belgianess. See, here's our outdoor dining space. Her grandmother, no, her mom built those tables. Just a fun fact, my Sims mom. If you want to follow my true crime Twitter, it's not linked anywhere, actually. It's at True Crime Orama on Twitter if you would like to follow that. You don't have to. I don't blame you. I enjoy true crime, and I just kind of want to tweet about it or talk about it. And I can do that because it's the internet. I can basically, in theory. Oh, yeah, so that little fenced-in area is for toddlers to go out and play because I needed to put a dollhouse. I wanted to put a dollhouse and a slide, and that was really the only place I could do it. And because our lot here is much well, our lot I don't think is any bigger than the last lot we lived on, but the house is technically 60 tiles. Huh? How do you like that? Um so our lot is we have more room for a bigger play area, and I really wanted to build like a little tree house, like you build a floating platform, you put a ladder up to it, but that would consume tiles. Um, just doing some terrain paint here, a little sand area for the toddlers. That's what you want your toddlers to do is play in sand. Um, oh yeah, I built a pool. I don't really know why. Mostly to spend money. That's really if why I do anything. I didn't landscape, it looks like. I just kept the existing landscaping. So maybe I'll go through and landscape. No, I won't. No, I won't. I'm not going to lie. Nice pizza floaty, spending money. All right, so we're wrapping up. Again, spending money on stuff I don't really need, but I would like to spend money. Please, because I have so much of it. I paved this little section, and then if you hit Control F, you get the little triangle bits, so you can make little paths like that. But this is the house. Shiny Cat raided me at this point in time. That's right as I was wrapping up. Thanks for the raid, Shiny Cat. Just like a little bit of fencing around this little patio area. Nothing crazy. As long as and then I opened it up to the little sand pit. And did it around this part of the house. I stream on Thursdays, in case you forgot. I paved the basketball. I have a love-hate relationship with the basketball hoop because my Sims keep autonomously playing basketball, so I got rid of it. And then I'm like, well, they're autonomously fucking baking cakes, and I hate it. So I put the basketball hoop back in the hopes that they would do that instead. But anyways, that's all the time I have for today. I stream on Thursdays. Come check me out. I upload speed builds whenever I have the time, and I talk about murder. So this is never going to get monetized. See everybody next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.